How do you wind down an RVing career that's lasted for 28 years? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You get you a home base, or two or three of them if you want them. Y'all may remember this place here. I think I tried to buy it about 10 times. And for lack of interest, it didn't work. So, anyway, I'm just kind of going around. Well, obviously, I'm going around in a circle, but yeah, this is near Carrizozo, New Mexico at Valley del Sol. And yeah, it's a beautiful place with a beautiful view. You know, the wind blows. It's a windy ass spot. But yeah, but anyway, I ended up getting my place back in Capitan again, my lot that I've made into a home base for the summers. And then I have one in Texas at Fort Clark Springs, as you know. And we're just going to chat a little bit. But, you know, again, I when I started, you know, I was in my 50s, you know, early 50s. And now I'm in my late 70s, so, you know, 77. So it's been a good ride. I'm not through or living in an RV. I'm just not going to be doing much traveling to state parks or boondocking or any of that stuff anymore. I mean, I've done a lot of travel trailer camping and some camping in a car and a Prius. I did a pickup with a camper top, and now I've got a Class C motorhome. It works just fine for me. And yeah, again, we're at Valley of Fire. No, we're at what do they call it? Vista del Sol, I think is the name of it, or something like that. Valley del Sol, near Carrizozo. On the other side of Carrizozo, going west, is Valley of Fire's Bureau of Land Management. And I just drove through there, and I saw several. Well, they're about 90% full. All right. And that's very unusual. That's, you know, of course, that's another reason I just don't want to fight that anymore. You know, everywhere you go now, you got to have a reservation. And when I started out years ago, you just pulled in and found your spot and you're good to go. You know, and that made it a lot more fun for me because, you know, as fickle as I am, I could change directions as I'm driving down the highway. You know, and so. Yeah, I looked at those people there and it just kind of, I had flashbacks of good times and bad times and old in between times. And I saw people that had watched one too many YouTube videos and got hooked on RVing. And it's, I mean, you know, I'm not saying that negative. I mean, but you know, you can, you know, buy into an illusion if it's pushed at you enough times. You know, if you see enough YouTube videos showing, oh, me and Martha are here, a beautiful sunset, you know, we just love RVing and all that stuff. Well, that's fine. And they may, but it ain't all what it's cracked up to be, guys. You know, there's like today, it's windy. It was cold this morning in this area. There's a lot of people over at Valley of the Fires, I'm sure, that would love to be sitting outside that aren't and may not be all day. It's windy here in the high desert of New Mexico and any desert, or any high desert, Nevada, Arizona, or wherever the hell you are. So, you know, be aware of that. And so we're just going to cruise a little bit here this morning. We'll chat a little bit, and I'm going to go into the sun, but I don't think my camera will be in the sun. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Is it? No. Well, see, I've got it on a mirror mount, and I think it's in the shade. Yeah, I think it is. So, and that's good. So, moving along. So, yeah, it's yeah, I feel lucky in many ways, but if you plan it, let me just a minute, let me put that towel up there. Do I still have it in here? Hang on. Hang on, guys. I got the towel. I'm going to knock off some of that glare, I think. It does help, it seems like. And I'm not going to try to do it when I'm driving, you know what I mean? Yeah, it does seem to help. Does that help a little bit? Yeah, it does. Sure it does. Let me see if I can move it. Yeah, you know, that dip down here to the windshield is about 2 miles. You know, yeah, that might be better. So here we go. We'll try it again. But anyway, but yeah, you know, if you plan it and execute it, it's not luck. You know, I mean, you could call it luck, but it worked, I guess. But yeah, so I did. I mean, you know, several years ago, you know, I've had a home base since 19. Or no. Let's see, 2000 and I think I got my first home base. Well, let's see. I'm going to say around 2000, year 2000. I got that place near Kingsland, Texas, near off Park Road 4, near Inks Lake State Park. And then many years later, I started looking at other uh, home bases for the summer out of Texas, and that's how I ended up in Capitan. I had a place in Cloudcroft for a month, big deal, and then now I had this place for a couple of years and sold it, and then I bought it back. So that's the story on that here in Capitan. But no, it's and the place in Texas at Fort Clark Springs is it's covered. It's got a 1 bedroom home there, small little house there, and that's a great place to ultimately finish up because I'll have a house there if I stay there. Will I stay there? Who knows, man? It's good now, and look at all this. You can buy a lot in here. I don't mean to change topics too many times, but you can buy a lot in here, but they've kind of gotten tight on the restrictions. There are restrictions here, and there is a property owners association. It is inactive, but the city of Carrizozo, kind of runs this thing now. So to get utilities hooked up, you have to have, meet certain requirements. And so, if you're interested in buying a place out here, which it is beautiful, it's beautiful views and all that, be aware of a couple of things. One, you're going to have to meet some requirements of the city. One, two, all that glitters ain't gold. I mean, you do have a beautiful 360-degree view, and the climate year-round ain't that bad, except for one thing. It's windy. It can be windy here. Yes, sir. And that's the truth. So moving along here on well, let's see, is this a Sunday? I'm not sure. It doesn't matter because I'll post this whenever. Yeah, the name of this road I'm on right now is called Valley del Sol. Valle del Sol. I guess that means like Valley of the Sun. Oh, and then you get a lot of clear skies and a lot of sun. All that stuff. But I'll go back to this. As I was driving through, oh, I forgot to fasten my seatbelt. Shit. I love cars telling me what to do. And anyway, but as I was driving through Valley of Fires, Bureau of Land Management, near Carrizozo, 4 miles west of Carrizozo, I noticed it was quite full, like 90%. And, there were people in the little teardrops, of course, vans and travel trailers, a few motor homes, and all. Every way you could dream of to go camping, there was an example of it there or close. And I, I thought, man, of course, everybody went there because it's a neat place to be. But when the wind's blowing like this, you can't do crap. It's like probably there. Well, it's close enough, but it's probably 55 degrees and the wind's blowing 20 to 30 miles an hour out of the east. And you can't do much in that. You can sit in the RV and look out the window, or you can take a drive, and that's okay. The difference between here and Capitan is, of course, you're 1,000 feet higher in elevation in Capitan, and you've also got the city, and you've got buildings and trees and a few things to block the wind. And so at my place in Capitan, even though the wind's blowing around us here, there it's okay. I mean, it's basically dead calm there, when I left this morning. And so, but yeah, if you're out there on the road, I was going to add this too. Even though some of you might consider me a full-time RVer still, because I do live in a Class C motorhome full-time, even when I'm in Texas or here. I choose to live in the motorhome because I've just learned to live there in a small space, and I enjoy it that way. I feel very comfortable, actually. And I've made it home. I've got fast internet and, plenty of food and beer and wine and all kind of crap. And it's just a pleasant little nest for me. And I wouldn't change it for the world, And so as far as going back and forth to Texas, and having having a permanent place here in Capitan. I'm not going to do that. I've talked myself into it and out of it, and it's called Calculatus Eliminatus. But no, I'll just continue to use the Class C motorhome and tow this vehicle I'm driving right now, or one like it, until I can't anymore. When will that be? I don't know. I feel good now. My health's okay, and yeah, it's fine. So I'll just continue to do that, because the good thing, or the great thing, really, as I've gotten older, about the Class C motorhome is, as I'm driving down the highway, if I've got to pee or I want to have a snack or whatever, I can just pull over anywhere in the motorhome, and without getting out, I don't have to get out in the cars zooming by and all that crap. No, I just walk to the wherever I need to go in the RV and do my thing, and away we go again. Never have to exit the Class C. Is that comfortable and enjoyable? It makes the trip a hell of a lot better than being in a car and trying to find a service station, right away. Because whenever you get older, particularly, well, anybody, I guess, men, women too, when you got to pee, you got to pee, and so we'll see how all this goes. Right now, I'm quite happy, okay? And don't worry, be happy. There's a little song I wrote. You remember that one. And so, yeah, what's it all about, Alfie? It seems like there's so many songs, but it's all up to you guys. I mean, and it's so easy, like me, how did I end up in a Toyota Prius, traveling around the U.S., or mostly only the Western U.S.? It was very easy. I had been pulling a travel trailer, and one day I was watching YouTube, and or no, I was traveling up in the Northwest. That's what it was. And I ran into a girl. She had a damn Prius, and she was living in it, and she'd been doing it for months, and she had it fixed up with a bed and all kind of stuff. And I thought, well, shit, I can do that. So I ziggied my little butt back to Texas and parked that RV under a cover that I had added, and bought me up. I think the first Prius I bought was a 2010, and the second one was a 2013. But I had two of them, and I went all over, man. I did for 5 years. I went all over everywhere in the damn Prius with a little bed on the right side, 26 inches by 75, and it was what they call it, a memory foam, foldable, trifold memory foam. Yeah, it cost me a couple $100, but it was worth it. Yeah, but once you get organized, it was okay. I mean, but I outgrew that pretty quick. I remember I woke up, where was I? I was near, let me think. Oh, it was near Taos, and I was cold, man. Of course, you can run the heater, and stuff, but you got to turn it on. And but anyway, it was a cold day, and you can't just sit in that car all day long, and to get out and go walking, it was cold, windy, and whatever, and I didn't have any space to do anything. I couldn't do my stretches or whatever. So back to the travel trailer I went, and then I got me a casita and the fiberglass thing, and now we are in a Class C. But anyway, we're just cruising, guys. It's a pretty day, pretty drive. Look at the view, man. I mean, it's just awesome out here, But the reason they've tightened up out here, even though there's a guy off to my right in a travel trailer, they'll get him, because if he doesn't build or do something within a year, they're gonna ask him to move on. Yeah. And that's the way it is. Do I blame them? Do I think that's bad? No, I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's just the way it is. Out in Terlingua Ranch in Texas, believe it or not, there's one guy in a pickup behind me. You know what I mean? There ain't been a car on this road in 20 years. Well, I'll pull over and let him go by. Here you go, Bubba. You can go zooming by now. And there he goes. So moving along now. Yeah, they didn't want this to turn into basically a junkyard out here, and I think they've protected it pretty well. And if you wanted to build a small home out here, you can. I think the minimum is 500 square feet. I think that. It may have changed. So, guys, this is old Rusty out here in the boonies reminiscing and then glad he's done what he's done because, if there's something you want to do, you better make you a little plan and start moving that direction or it won't get done. Now, how do you find a home base? I'll get that comment. It's very, very easy. Just use common sense, even though common sense is not necessarily that common. However, the simple process is this: find you an area or pick an area that you think you would like to be in the summer. No matter where, just pick a spot. Go there, stay there for a month, and drive around and see what you can find. All right? And you can contact a realtor, but that would be my last choice. I'd rather go find something on my own because you can find for sale by owner, or if you find a vacant place that's not for sale, go to the appraisal district, find out who owns it, send them a letter, and see what happens. That's how I found some of these things. And yeah, and then once you get it, go to work. But be sure and check to be sure that you can do what you think you want to do. In other words, if you want to put an RV on it, be sure you can. Or if you want to put a storage building on it and then make a home out of it, be sure you can do it. This guy on the right here, you just saw those two double wide homes there. He has, and it's still there, I just saw it. He has the biggest German Shepherd dog I have ever seen. How did I find out about that dog? I'll tell you. I stayed over at that place we started out for about 2 weeks, and I would walk around here on these roads, and one day, guess who I got to meet? That dog. I mean, he didn't attack me or anything, but he wasn't very happy that I was in the area. Let me say that. But having said all of those exciting, thrilling words, I'll end this dog now because we're fixing to get on Highway 380 right up here and go to Capitan. So, guys, thumbs up. Carpe diem. Carpe diem means seize the day in Latin. Carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything you want. Use the Amazon link if you choose to. Drink plenty of water. Stretch, walk. Keep your health. Stand guard at the door of your mind. And that's life. Pretty simple. Over and over and over. Same drill, different day. Adios. Bye-bye.